Hi, everybody. It's David Yanez again, the co-director and producer of the Uptown at the Apollo show, put on by San Jose Musical Theater. And I'm super happy to be here with one of our contestants, Kelsey Findlay. Kelsey, tell us where you're from again.
I'm from San Jose, California.
Okay, all right. So you know what, as I had mentioned in some of the other videos that we're doing to let the audience get to know our contestants is just so that you guys know, we sent questions to the contestants so they could be prepared to tell us about themselves. We didn't want to throw them too many curveballs, but the first question we wanted to know is, Kelsey, tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Kelsey Findlay. I'm 27 years old. I've always had a passion for performing. It's in my soul. Singing is where my heart has always been. I have a love for artists from decades past, mainly from the 60s and the Motown era. Such artists like Marvin Gaye, Mabel John, Al Green, they take their passion and their sorrow and they put it into music that is so beautiful and pleasing to the ear. This music that gave us a catalog of one's full range of human emotion. The Black artists whom have created this music is groundbreaking. The sounds that are the roots of the music we have today. And I strive to honor these wonderful artists and their music.
Well, that's great. Here's your curveball question. I actually have two for you. One is, in your audition, you did a song, was it by Mabel John?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I had not heard of Mabel John. Why don't you tell us about that? Now, this is for the audience. When you saw the contestant reel, that when we announced the contestants, we purposely did not put the audio on there because we want to encourage you that if you want to hear them sing, you got to buy a ticket. Okay, but Kelsey, when she sent in her video, she had chosen someone that had performed at the Apollo, and it was her name is Mabel John. Tell us about that. Why did you choose that?
Well, what I love is I actually listen to the sound platform Spotify, and a lot of times Spotify they'll pull from other artists who you're interested in. And a while ago, I had come across this song that I'd never heard before, but I was just amazed by her vocals. And I'm like, why have I never heard of this woman? And I got so invested in her that I had to learn her story. And turns out she was actually one of Mr. Ray Charles' backup vocalists back in the day. And she was also one of the first female vocalists signed to Motown Records. And that really caught my attention. And when I heard her, she definitely, you could hear other artists probably were inspired by this woman. And so I ended up looking up documentaries of her and found out that she's still alive today.
Ooh.
She's 90 years old and she lives in LA. And I believe she's a pastor for a church. And what I would like to do in this coming year is possibly take her music from back then and bring it back to life, because I feel like the music that she made was so inspirational and people need to know who she is because she's a force to be reckoned with.
That's great. That's great. Hey, here's your other curveball question. Okay, so when I've talked with you, I can see that your mom is a big supporter of yours. And tell us about her support and how did that work with you, and where you've gotten to today. Tell us about that.
Well, if it wasn't for my mom putting me in all these classes growing up, I wouldn't have the confidence that I have today. I was put in dance class when I was like 5 years old, and I did it for 10 years. And honestly, I'm not very good at dancing, but without that, I wouldn't be able to have the presence that I have on stage today. And I was always the girl spinning in the opposite direction. but I was always the person who had your attention. And later on, I discovered that I could sing, and she really pushed me to um, audition for talent shows. And I was like, no, I could never. But she's like, no, you have a gift, and people need to hear it. And I actually nickname her my momager, because whenever we go out and about, I never like to gloat about myself at all. My mom is always like, oh, you need to hear my kids sing. She's always supporting me. And
Wow.
I'm super grateful for her,
Well,
because she she definitely gives me the confidence I need to do what I do today.
well, that's fantastic. And you know, we have a big San Jose Musical Theater has its own, you know, audience. And what you said, I'm sure, is going to resonate with quite a few parents out there who support their kids in musical theater. So the last question I wanted to ask you is, I want you to tell the audience why they should buy a ticket to see you sing in this show.
Well, why shouldn't you buy a ticket? There are so many talented artists coming together to bring classic Apollo performances to a new generation. There's so many reasons why you should come to the show. I believe that it's really great that we all are people who appreciate this era of music, that we are admirers of classic music, that we've all come to know and love. And I just really think you all should come and watch the show.
That's wonderful. Kelsey, thank you so much. And this is a message for the audience. When you go to showtixforyou.com, that's SHOWTIX, the letter number 4 and you, I'll have that on the screen here, to buy a ticket. When you buy a ticket and you are buying it because of Kelsey, you can do the drop down box and you can tell it that you're buying the ticket because of Kelsey. So please do that. We want to know who's doing that. And you know, it's going to be our audience that's voting. And so we want to encourage you to buy tickets, let everyone know that Kelsey's in the show, and support Kelsey. And once again, thank you all. And come and see Kelsey as well as the other contestants perform in the Uptown at the Apollo show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.